I think the experience in Hong Kong and in Singapore generally is that the service quality is better and the fares are lower. Okay? So on that basis, seriously, it's very hard to say, nationalize. Let's go and nationalize it, because as in all things in life, the option that is not chosen is always more attractive until you choose it. And then 10 years later, you decide that, why did I even go that way in the first place? And then you tack back to the left and you tack to the right and so on. So the question therefore is that, what's the basis for making a shift? And in fact, if you look at public transportation in a number of cities, including say in Melbourne, in Australia, Sydney and so on, the tendency is to move it towards privatization, letting private companies run it, but hopefully where it is competitively tendered, which is what we don't have today, which we are trying to do. So with the downtown line that was competitively tendered, the rest of the rail lines going forward will be competitively tendered too, including with international competition in time to come. And then for the buses, we're going to start to move in that direction from next year onwards. We think that from a philosophical point of view, it's not a bad thing to be able to have more than one operator, particularly as the network grows. Okay? So that there is some basis for benchmarking not only across cities, but benchmarking internally. So for example, even though the Northeast line is not the same as the Compass lines because of the age and everything like that, we could knock SMRT on the head and say, how come the Northeast line has a better reliability compared to what you are delivering? For example. So even without all this international contacts and everything, within the city itself, you could say cross benchmark one another. Certainly without SBST and SMRT pushing each other, I don't think we would have had as good a tender outcome. Okay, and bear in mind that none of that money actually comes back to the government, whatever they did, because it's all ring-fenced in order to buy assets, additional trains in future, and so on and so forth. So the competition is not about how we can get more money from the operators and the public into the government coffers, because that is not the intent. The intent is actually which is the more efficient operator giving the best package possible, and from their annual license fees and so on, that money is set aside and ring-fenced so that you can buy more trains in future.